Hey, everybody. I have the one and only Pastor Billy Crone from Las Vegas here at the Truth About Israel conference. And we were blessed to get him. He's got tremendous insight on a prophetic level and a geopolitical level. And he's one of our main speakers. So you want to make sure that you go to our website, get the 30-day download, and be able to watch the entirety of the conference. But anyway, since I got Pastor Billy with us, tell the audience what you're going to be teaching about, what the emphasis about Israel is.
Gotcha. Yeah, basically dealing with the Ezekiel 38 Gog and Magog war.
Oh, okay.
And of course, as you know, with this Israel-Hamas war, everybody's going like, wait a second, is this, at first it was Israel-Hamas, now it's spreading, nations are barking and doing all their stuff. Could this lead to the Ezekiel 38 war? And that's a big question. So I want to answer that.
Okay.
And it really wasn't that hard to answer.
Yeah.
Number one, you just look at the headlines. I say it all the time, turn on your TV, man.
Yeah.
And so we began to deal with the proof, looking at headlines even this week. Every single one of those nations mentioned that prophecy. Every single one of them is not just supporting Hamas, but they're against Israel, threatening Israel, every single one. And so that's, to me, obviously, well, it very well could lead to that event. It's certainly leading up to that. And so then the other thing, too, I was like, well, wait a second, this is like a suicide mission. Because if you keep reading the Bible, but they don't, unfortunately, they're going to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
Right? And so two things, in my mind, I was like, well, why would they flirt with their own destruction, number one? Number two, why would you flirt with officially starting, basically, World War III in the Middle East? And well, that's where I believe that God gives us the answer in Ezekiel 38 with the hooks, plural. Very key there, hooks, plural, that God uses to draw them down to do the unthinkable. And so that's what we really, most of the study was about, other than defining these nations currently, definitely anti-Israel. But it was, dealing with the land of Israel being a strategic landmass, and that if you're going to be wanting to control that area of the world, you've got to own that strip of land. And that's been true throughout history, not just recent times. Water is another big issue over there.
Yeah.
Of course, we live in Vegas. That's a big issue for us. Some people, if you're, watching
in California, it's an issue for us too.
Exactly.
So,
so that water is important. Well, all those countries over there, water is life.
Yeah.
And it just so happens, shocker, that Israel not only is able to produce a ton of water from what they got, but with the desalination plants, now they can they export 20% more than what they need. So now they've got an abundance of water. So that becomes a valuable resource. And again, that's the word, they're hooks, and they go, it says there in Ezekiel 38, to plunder riches and goods. And so there's, and to use a modern term, that's resources.
Yeah, resources.
There's something valuable in Israel that they devised this evil scheme, let's go get them.
Yeah.
And so you got the landmass, you got the water. The other two are they're like really recent, and that's the recent discoveries of not just gas, but also oil, including oil in the Golan Heights. That's already a hotly contested site anyway.
Wow.
And so you got oil and gas, both of them, and even the news, sharing clips from the news over there, they're admitting that not only will this put Israel into the position to be energy independent upwards to 100 years or more, decades and decades and decades, but they even freely admit that they can become the major exporter of energy throughout all of Europe, which affects, guess who? Russia.
Yeah,
right? And you think they're going to sit there idly by and let that happen?
No.
And basically their economy is staying afloat from the energy sector because they're the major exporter to Europe right now with energy.
Wow.
But if Israel starts taking a big chunk of that or all of it or half of it, there's no way they're going to sit idly by. So you can see that being that. And then the last one, of course, I deal with is the misnomer that the Dead Sea's dead and it's just cool for floating.
Right.
That's what
most people think.
Right. That's cool. Don't shave before you go in.
Right.
But no, it's not just there for, if you've been there, you probably visited Ahava and it's got the beauty, the cosmetic, and that's true. But it's more than that. You look at the chemicals that God, on purpose, years ago, have been dumping into the lowest place on earth, the Dead Sea. It's valuable chemicals that are used to make explosives, weaponry, things of that nature.
Wow.
It's quote, the richest source of minerals in the world. That's a direct quote from secular sources.
Yeah.
But other things like fertilizer is huge, which we're now currently, because Russia invading Ukraine, which was a big area for fertilizer, now it's a shortage. There's enough fertilizer in the Dead Sea to supply the whole world. And things of that nature, other valuable chemicals that are it's all in the Dead Sea.
Wow.
Right? So, and they admit that there's 4 times the amount of wealth in the Dead Sea as the United States, the whole United States.
Whoa.
I mean, it's like the world's biggest treasure chest. And so just from a valuable point of view, like a monetary value of what you can pull out of there, hey, that's a resource. That's a spoil. We want to take the spoils,
there you go. There you go.
But when you look at what makes it so valuable, the strategic chemicals needed in our geopolitical landscape.
Yeah.
It's just, and so you can see these hooks, plural, that could be used to basically to do the unthinkable. Because you're looking at Russia and these other nations, Turkey and Iran, Sudan, Ethiopia area, Libya, coming against Israel to start World War III. Thinking, who would do that? That's just well, when you put all this together, and a lot of them again are recent discoveries, recent things, you could see, and then how it would affect Russia's economy.
Sure.
Which is already languishing with the sanctions put against it over the Ukraine issue and things of that nature. And then Biden blowing up the pipeline, we demonstrate that on tape. He said it on tape.
Yes.
Right. It's not a conspiracy theory.
Right.
And I call it. What do you do? Poking the bear? Are you just trying to get them to do them?
Right.
But we know where it's going to head. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because Ezekiel prophesied it's going to happen. But the point for you and I as Christians is it's another indicator from God. He never calls us to be fearful. Fear does not come from him. It's time to be faithful.
Yeah. Amen.
It's a reminder from God that guess what, bride? I'm not going to tell you exactly when I'm coming to get you.
Yeah.
But I am coming to get you. But I am going to give you some signs it's getting close.
Yeah.
And really, that's why I said, if you want to be encouraged today, this might sound weird. If you want to be encouraged today as the bride of Christ, and to be reminded that the rapture is truly, truly imminent, turn TV.
Yeah, true.
That's how we need to translate this.
Yes.
Not freak out, not be afraid. Like, oh no, I got to store up survival gear and for 7 years, and we're not going to be in the 7-year tribulation. Right. These are signs from God. Church, I'm coming back. It's getting close. So finish strong.
Amen.
And
Amen.
And I will say this, and I'll be done. If we as Christians in this time frame don't wake up every day, number one, hopefully every day you're thanking Jesus Christ for saving your soul.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, if you don't wake up with the mindset, God, lead people my way to lead to you, to share the gospel. If that's not, shame on us.
Yeah. Right.
We're missing the point. God's given us an opportunity to realize that this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. We need to be about the Father's business. There's no more important business than the Father's business. We need to be out there sharing the gospel. Nothing else matters at this point.
Amen. Amen. Well, folks, you heard it, man. We have a job to do. We have a responsibility, obviously. And then you want to make sure you have the right information, too, out there. So that's what we're doing with the truth about Israel. He's going to talk about Gog and Magog and the setup of that. And it's happening, unfolding right in front of our very eyes. So again, make sure you go to our website, get the 30-day packet that you can download. It's a digital download. You can watch all the conference speakers, including Pastor Billy, and be blessed by that. But then take that information out, share the gospel, share the news about what's going on, what God's doing in the world. Okay. All right, guys. God bless you. Thanks, Pastor Billy, for being with us, man. God bless you.
God bless.
All right.